What's going on, guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital. We're here with Matt Stang, co-founder and CEO of Delic Corp. Nice to have you back, Matt. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Definitely. So can you start by giving us an update regarding what you've been up to at Delic since we last spoke?
Oh, man. It's been an action-packed summer for sure. We have rebranded CBDV as Delic Labs. We've closed the deal. So now we own the chain of ketamine infusion centers in Arizona and California. We've announced the venue, speakers, and now business speakers for Meet Delic, our largest in the world psychedelic wellness event that's happening November 6th and 7th in Las Vegas. And yeah, it's been pretty monumental and got a lot of really great things going on.
Awesome. And I'm excited to continue to cover it. So you all recently finalized the closing of ketamine infusion centers, like you just said. So what's next for that?
Yeah, well, for us, we see really extending our leadership in psychedelic wellness clinics. And so, with KIC, we've taken in a chain across California and Arizona, and we see just a great deal of expansion there. And I think you'll see over the next couple of months our strategy to become the dominant psychedelic wellness chain in America. So just keep watching this space and keep checking on us because we're going to keep growing it.
Definitely. So you also just announced that Dr. Marcus of Delic Labs is speaking at MJ Biz. Is the cannabis industry embracing the psychedelic industry?
I think for sure. When I started Delic 3 years ago from my perch at High Times, I think the reaction was a little bit of unsure if this was really something new or if this was just maybe a blip. And I think that the last year has really proven it to be the next thing. And so you see with the president of Delic Labs and our chief scientific officer, Marcus Rogan, being selected to speak on one of their main panels, they really see, the work around psychedelic science we're doing as entering the mainstream and really following cannabis as what's next. And that's part of what we're really trying to show is that this is a wave. It's changing the world, and if you get to be part of it, it's going to be world changing for the companies and the people involved. And so I think that's a big part of why it's a really great opportunity to invest, to really help shape and change the world.
Definitely. And like with my channel, I first started talking a lot about cannabis, and a lot of my viewers have really taken a liking to the psychedelic sector. So I can definitely agree with you on that one. So Delic recently announced the business panels for Meet Delic, the premier psychedelic and wellness edutainment event and expo for newcomers. Can you tell us more about how that's coming together?
Yeah, sure. So Meet Delic is going to be the largest psychedelic wellness conference in the world. We expect about 10,000 people over 2 days at the venue is called Area 15. It is the world's first Burning Man mall. Hundreds of millions of dollars was spent building this incredible immersive experience that has to be seen to be believed. We'll have it for 2 days. And yeah, we just announced 40 of the top leaders in business around psychedelics, from the founders of the first to market psilocybin FDA compliant product, to the creator of the world's first virtual immersive psychedelic VR, to the creator of the world's first psychedelic adjacent wearable computer, and people all over the spectrum. And so I really think if you want to know more, it is the singular place to be to get not only their information and their knowledge, but also that wonderful serendipitous connection that comes from bringing thousands of people together in one place who are all focused on changing the world through psychedelics. And I think that's the magic, right? You get to be in the room with those people, you get to have these serendipitous connections, and you get to find the direction and the new thing to do in this space, which is just so incredible and massive. So yeah, I'm really, really excited.
Awesome, myself as well. So what's next for Delic Labs? Can you give us an update on this side of the business?
Yeah, sure. So I think there's just a ton of new stuff coming through. Today we're doing our lab testing on the world's first psychedelic psilocybin vaporizer, which is amazing. We have a ton of work being done on not only the psilocybin stuff, but we're getting applications in for other psychedelic compounds. And the team here is this incredible, brilliant PhD mix of folks who understand processes and chemical engineering, and can really take the problems that other people see and come up with solutions. And so, this outsourced CRO kind of business where they've helped problem solve across the cannabis and hemp space has really pivoted incredibly well to psychedelics. And so the inbound leads are amazing. And I think from that, we'll generate a ton of revenue, but we'll also generate a ton of internal IP as we learn and grow the industry and take on people's problems. We'll be able to kind of really take on a bunch of new opportunities and new IP. So it's just super exciting, and there's so much going on. So I think people are really going to be blown away by what comes out of it.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of this industry. So I know this is a hard question, but when it comes to Delic, there are multiple facets to your business. If you had to choose one, which aspect are you most excited about and why?
Oh boy. So, God, who do I love the most? Which child? I think when it comes to really thinking about this on a direct business level as a growth story for an equity play like Delic is, DELC is a stock for people to buy to get on to a growth train. I think the clinic business is where we see the greatest revenue growth and the greatest opportunity for just year over year and quarter over quarter growth. We think there's millions, if not tens of millions of people just in America who qualify for some form of psychedelic therapy. Now you look at a typical clinical setting of what we'll be setting up, and you can basically treat maybe 150 people a month. So you're talking about a total addressable market of thousands upon thousands of these clinics to even get anywhere near the demand that's coming. And that's not even including the PTSD and anxiety and depression that's come out of, that's still coming out of the current pandemic. So I think there's just such a huge opportunity with building the infrastructure for the psychedelic wellness revolution. And we're going to be the largest clinic chain in America. And part of that will be being the largest accessible clinic chain, really focused on folks who are not the 0.01%, but the people who really need help and need something accessible and nearby them so that they can keep moving forward in their life, in their work, in their marriage. And so I really think the clinic business is probably the one that gets me the most excited on a direct financial level.
Awesome. So are there any catalysts on the horizon for the psychedelic sector that you feel investors should focus on?
Yeah, I think, just talking about the clinic side, there was a big story in Business Insider talking about how the next round of investment and infrastructure changes will be around clinics and technology. And I think we're leading in that space. So you're going to see a lot of really interesting hockey stick growth there. I think there's going to be novel compounds going in for FDA approval. From what I hear, MDMA and psilocybin are both scheduled to go before FDA sometime this year with their phase 3 clinical data. I think that there's going to be some interesting stuff as Oregon comes online and allows for therapeutic use of psilocybin mushrooms. I think California will likely have a ballot initiative on next year for something similar or maybe even broader. So I think there's a ton of different things that will catalyze this growth. But I think really the biggest thing to me is just the mental health epidemic sweeping this country. The fact that people have been stuck inside and have been unable to escape their mental health issues. And I just think having a place and a way that people can actually help themselves get better, where it's not, the traditional modalities where there's 4 or 5% of people getting better every year, but you're tapping 60, 80% of people. I think it changes the game on mental health, and mental health is a $1 trillion business. So, I just think that's such a humongous inflection point coming, and we just have an opportunity to help define that.
Definitely. So where's the best place for investors to find out more information about Delic?
Yeah, sure. So Delic Corp is the corporate website. So if you want to know more, you can go to deliccorp.com. Realitysandwich.com if you want to learn more about psychedelics themselves. That's our media platform. Meetdelic.com. That's where you can find out more about the event. And I think, if you want to really learn more, come and see us in Las Vegas in November. Ketamine infusion centers if you want to learn more about our clinics or if you need help. Then, deliclabs.com, just been rebranded. And if you want to learn more about the work we're doing there and need help, that's where you check it out. So I think there's a lot. We have a lot of different things, but I think they all really support each other. And we're trying to build a really interesting pinwheel that kind of helps self-support each aspect and build them each to bigger and greater heights.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time, Matt. I look forward to covering your story.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right, guys, that wraps up the video. Thank you so much for watching. I just wanted to say, if you do support me, the channel, and all these videos, then kindly smash that like button along with hitting the subscribe button and the bell for notifications for future videos. I did also want to say, check the disclaimer down below. This video was sponsored by the company that we are talking about today. So check the disclaimer, full disclosure, and we're out of here. Always remember, guys, Departures Capital is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only. Don't buy or sell a stock because you heard it on here. Buy or sell a stock because you've done your research, you've done your thorough due diligence, and you make your own personal investment decisions for yourself. This video is not financial advice. We'll see you guys in our next video.